The following is intended only for mature audiences. Viewer discretion advised.
Hello, welcome to the Fat Ugly Toad Show. I'm your host, the Fat Ugly Toad. My special guest, Chester Charlie, is still here in the studio. Ladies and gentlemen, self-proclaimed survival expert, Chester Charlie.
Hello, people. Thanks for having me on your show again, cousin. I feel like I was just here because we filmed all of this at the same time. Anyway, this next video is a show and tell all about my Ninja nighttime pouch. I think it's a better video because I made a video before this one, so now I knew what I was doing.
Okay, so, presenting Survivor Time with Chester Charlie, Ninja Nighttime Pouch.
It's for when you're ninjing at night. Alright, let's take a look at the Ninja Nighttime Pouch. I know it's probably hard to see because it's black, but that's sort of the point is, you know, when you're running around at night trying not to be seen, well, maybe this will help that endeavor. Now, it's a cloth pouch. It's got some big old belt loops in the back here, so you can get just about any belt under there. That's pretty good. It's got a single snap, which is nice. Underneath the snap is a little small pocket. I don't know what its intention was, but it's good for me, for shoving one of these little survival boxes I make in there. It fits real good. Now, what these are is, every month my wife gets an empty birth control pack from her pills, and most people just throw them away, but I figure it's kind of a cool little box, even though it's got these holes in one side. So I usually make some kind of little survival kit out of them. If you put them in a plastic bag, it'll seal them up so the holes don't matter so much. So that's a real fun thing about birth control. There's another real fun thing about birth control, but you guys don't need to hear about that. Now, inside the pouch, it's got one main compartment. I like that. Doesn't got a lot of dividers and stuff getting in your way. It's got two main items, and then it had some room left over that I kind of improvised with. One of the two main items is this flashlight. Now, I know you're not supposed to be seen when you're ninjing, but sometimes you need to see because it's dark, so this is a pretty good flashlight with some LEDs on it. It's got a clip and a magnet. Anyway, it fit in there real good, and it's a pretty good flashlight. I'm not going to flash you with it because I don't like it when they do that. Now, the improvised items in the room remaining kind of stacked in here like so. And what we got here are two little fire kits. One's a Tic Tac box and one's an imitation Tic Tac box. We'll take a look at the Tic Tac box first. Pop this open here, you just pop it open and pull that off, and it's easier to get to these. What they are two little pieces of plastic straw. They got a birthday candle inside. What you can do is you can take you one of these matches and you can knock it out with that. So there's a birthday candle in there. So for the room from a Tic Tac box, you can't do a whole lot, but now with this Tic Tac box, at least you can start you a fire. And it's kind of fun to come up with a use for little Tic Tac box. Now this imitation one, they got a corner cut out of it for the art of it. I didn't like that, but same deal. You pop the top off, and it's a little fire starting kit. This one's got a mini big, another straw with a birthday candle, toothpick to knock the candle out, 2 lucky matches, different sizes, and half a pack of matches. It's actually 2/3 of a pack of matches. What you do is you take the toothpick. You take the staple out of the matches, and then you take it apart, cut it apart, put it back together. You can make a 1/3 size or a half size. Most of them I make half size, but this is kind of a smaller container. Now, next up is this snooze tin. It's kind of like an Altoids tin, but it's smaller. This is a good product to help you quit smoking. I wouldn't recommend it for anything else, but it helped me quit smoking. So I ended up with several of these during the course of quitting smoking. I got some electrical tape around the edge, even though the tin seals itself, which is kind of a nice thing about it. I'll show you that in a minute. I got a list on the back with the contents. A lot of people don't put a list. I like to put a list. If you didn't see the pilot, this is how I do it. I take a piece of paper and I write the contents list on there. Then I take a clear piece of packing tape and I put it over there, and it keeps the water out of there. And you can just glance at it and know what's in there without having to dig around inside it. The snooze packs are great because they fit in certain stuff. Like this is an old pager case from long ago when people had pagers. It's got a magnet at the front, snaps shut, clips on your belt. And inside you can push it out from the bottom. It's got one of them snooze packages that fits in there real good. Little snooze tin. This one is I don't know, some kind of army something or other. You can push it out from there. It fits in there real good. It's real snug. The reason is, on this one, it had this old thing that went on there. Maybe it's, I don't know what it's for, but underneath there I put one of these wallet tools, credit card tools, you know, and put it in there, put the flap over it. Shove the snooze can down in there, and that ain't gonna come out for nothing. It's in there real good. It's got D-ring, hang it on whatever you want. It's got a small belt loop, but it ain't much. I can hardly get my thumb in there, but it's got a snap, and you can open up that belt loop if you want to. And this one is a McCormick spice container. I can't remember what spice used to be in here. I'm sure I must have cleaned it out, but I didn't label it, so I don't know what all I put in there. Fits in there real good though. Oh, my phone went off. Anyway, so maybe we'll have a look in there one time or another. Now the other main item in this pouch is a big old tin, bigger than an Altoids tin. So you can get lots of stuff in there. This is a Jack Daniels tin. I saw it in the junk shop. I said, yeah, I'm gonna buy that. I'm not a big fan of their whiskey, but it's good whiskey. It's not my favorite, but it's a cool box. It's black, goes with kind of the theme of the pouch. Not that that matters. Underneath it, there's a black trash bag, which also kind of goes with the theme of the pouch. It's got a contents list. It's a big old tin. You can get a lot of stuff in there. So there's a whole lot of useful stuff in there for surviving, that's for sure. Alright, well, before we run out of time, let's get past the pouch and get on to the free survival gear segment. So that's coming up next. One thing I almost forgot to show you was I was trying to explain that the snooze cans seal themselves. I ain't gonna open one, but this is a new one. It's not as good as the old ones. It's not as tall. I don't know if you can tell. But when you open it, it's got a seal in here. It says fresh seal, and you can see it and everything. So that combined with the electrical tape, it makes a pretty good seal on these guys. A little better than that Altoids tin with the swivel hinge. But they're smaller. Now they're not as small as the smalls, but they're small. Alright, some folks like to see you put them back together, so I'm going to do that for you. Jack Daniels tin goes in the bottom here. And the trash bag slips in there behind it. take your flashlight here and you kind of stick it in. Oh, sorry about that. Sorry. Stick it in the corner there. Got your snooze tin and your McCormick. We'll take a look in there some other time. And you got your two fire starting kits. And you take your, like so. Alright. Finally today for our free stuff segment. Before I begin, I just want to say, what I mean by free stuff is free with purchase. Now, don't be a little mooch or a cheapskate, same thing if you ask me. If you buy something, then maybe you can take a little bit of the free stuff, but don't just be a mooch. Nobody likes a mooch. Now, free stuff, people are like, well, what does that mean? A rock and a stick? Well, what I mean is free with purchase. Even if you pick up a rock nowadays, somebody's going to go, hey, that's my rock. So, you know, it's hard to find truly free stuff. Anyway, I was at the hardware store today, and on the way out, they give you this free string to tie the wood down in your truck. Now, it's not exactly a 500 parachute cord, but it's free string. It's made out of plastic. You can use it for a million things. What I'm doing now is I'm wrapping it around 2 fingers. I'll show you why. But you know, it's good enough to tie your tarp to a tree or something, and it's free. So if you ain't got nothing else and you ain't got no money, well, at least you can prepare a little bit that way. This is a free with purchase salsa cup. It's from the taco truck up the road. I get their breakfast tacos often, and they don't mind if I get one now and then. A lot of times I'll just clean the salsa out of the one I had, but this one's from Taco Cabana. It'll hold 7 feet of that free string. This one's a little bit bigger. It's from that taco truck. It'll hold 10 feet of that string. Now also next to the string they got these little plastic red flags. They fold out into a little square about that big. What they're for is when you got lumber sticking out past your bumper, you put this on there so people don't drive into you. Now, it's just a little piece of red plastic, but you can stick it out your pack or your pouch or whatever. This is that Ninja Nighttime pouch. If I was to set it down, I might forget where I set it down, and this is easier than looking around for an hour if you just spot that little red tag on there. Because a lot of times you put your stuff down to do something else, some kind of task, you know. Same with this little mini water bottle or this knife sheath. Now another cool thing you can do is you can put you some tape on there, make you an X, and this is a good way to spot your camp. You put some rocks in the corners, or you know, you could even tape it to your shirt to make yourself more visible if you're trying to be rescued. You could also, like, if your car was broke down or you're off on foot and want to leave a message for somebody, you just put some rocks in the corners, and it's got this little arrow made out of tape that says "went this way" on it. Alright, well, I hope you enjoyed this week's episode, and maybe we'll see you next time. Thanks a lot.